that marteen can find some space onto Cloud on A.
Ready, nade to try and delay, flash to try and support, but both kills go the way of the attack. Still a couple of defenders around.
They could have that little bit of extra utility out on the B site to get in, but first they'll see if marteen finds a wide open A site. The timing here horrendous. He's just made it around as Cloud snuck right by the angle into the lamps where marteen is creeping his way. He's got the timing, and it looks like he'll connect the shot. A site wide open for the plant, and a 4v2 now with 10 seconds left. GX, they won't be able to deny this plant. They've got to put all their eggs in the basket of the retake.
Westside was great on his debut. Will it be enough for him to find anything in the late stages of this round? Still a player that needs to be cleared and spotted and will be forced back. That's one at least. For the remaining players already sat in their after plant positions. Avez looking to brawl and will meet the same fate as his teammates just moments ago. Even still though, that clock is continuously ticking. The grab will pull them even further out on the time, and well, for Westside, he almost has to try and just stick this the entirety of the way. He's still going to land one of the penultimate shots. He's doing an incredible job, but that time is just too far gone at this stage. Elite has won the extra players into position, even just throwing out further utility to try and delay. They have left them low. Runner just currently trying to hold onto his ground, and Purpo's done fantastically well. 15 seconds.
The net very much trapped him, but plenty more players. Purpo's teammates ready with 8 seconds on the clock. Running it down is all they need to do, but they've been dropped immediately though. SUYGETSU now out of time, no chance.
Luckily, we're right back into the game. We can pretend like nothing ever happened. An immediate cosmic divide. I question whether or not maybe that was going to be paired with the ultimate over on Gecko, but it hasn't been. Maybe it should have done, because that's not gone great for marteen.
For the flood of KC players coming in.
Thrash through. This is where all the corners become a tough spot to stand in. Although saying that, Runner did well, at least for the initial moments. The clear is nigh on Sublime though. This is what's so difficult about holding onto this B side, is you can basically clear everything with the combination of Astra and Vice alongside that deadlock. Now for the remainder, they're having to try and break back in, all from a similar angle versus this hold.
The fact that Thrash caught the full HP player as well and now is back online, causing more problems, sending GX back towards the spawn. And now the time ran way too low. There's no choice but to back out. And even then, just take a look at what we can see. Of course, GX not quite privy to this information, but based on a quick take, they could assume it. There's 2 pieces of deadlock utility waiting for them to step out, so you're battling up against the stuns on your way. You've got 4 players, and who knows, from GX's perspective, how much utility still waiting. And
I'd be intrigued to know if that was intentional, because now you look at where tomaszy is, completely overwhelmed, but they've given up this site because of what happened last round. Looking to try and play that retake, but you feel like tomaszy has to get something, and he won't.
I mean, this has all come on the back of the double teleport play. It was heard, and the reaction was perfect. Clearly, B is going to be weaker with that many players on the other side of the map. They walk right in, doors open. The one player that was defending fades away at GX. It's a very unusual situation, such undamaged retake that we're about to see come through. So much utility still in play, bombarded by GX, but they run into that sonic sensor first time. That's really caused a problem for them, and look how big a problem it is in the seconds it takes for that stun to fade away. The reset is there, plenty of players ready to duel. Runner gets one even with the low economy. I like that they gambled it.
Here they go again.
Didn't land. Another push though.
Again, much more aggressive in their defense. Elite very much ready for it, and now SUYGETSU is going to try and swing back in for the trades. It's Avez to finally find one, but look at the position of the spike. This is now no longer just, okay, we want to try and even up the playing field. This is, we have to battle to get our spike back.
Well, it is round 7 when we eventually see that annihilation from saadhak. Said it was online very early against Vitality. Right here, though, when it eventually comes into play, not as pivotal piece of utility as we had seen in that previous game. It doesn't land, it doesn't find its mark. Kind of what you'd expect a lot of the time when it's fired through a smoke. The spike is retrieved though, thanks to marteen, but they've left a big gap. tomaszy, well, he's just got a freebie, and that puts the man advantage into GX's corner.
Straight away, Thrash thrown in, wanting to try and get as much information as possible. marteen has managed to get ahead of all of the utility though, realizing he needs to fight aggressively, but it's cleared by tomaszy. Realized it. We'll just look
to work with here for KC. They're hungry for it. Sprinting after Runner. The attempt to take him down denied by a nade on the floor. The mosh pit buys a little bit of extra time, but KC not deterred. They are still looking to push forward into this B site. Spike has made it through. No control in any direction. I mean, this looks like a death trap that GX have sprung.
tomaszy kind of stuck in the mud, but he still manages to come out on top. 25 seconds, the spike now down on the ground. You feel like control needs to be garnered, and tomaszy is doing a fantastic job. He's been able to hold on to position. Their guns, though, might be about to disappear, but he jumps down to get the fight. Before that happens, it's now left all onto Elite, but he comes up.
Favorite for the squad, but this time it should be a little bit easier. Thrash is leading the charge, destroyed immediately. Mosh pit to stop the push on the back of it. Runner picking off marteen. He's ahead of the pack thanks to that little bit of delay Runner put into play. It's beautiful from the side of GX as everybody falls, leaving.
Well, it's firstly Runner
just outside of that A site. They have a haunt up above it, so even if you're stood on the other side, they can reveal you and shoot you straight through it. Denied that opportunity for an early fight. Purple goes back, and he makes his own. On middle, marteen falls again. Early pick for the side of GX.
They still have that Nightfall as well, ready to try and make this a much more problematic. There you go, immediately. The second the Prowler gets contact, this is going to keep two players low, def. Just trying to create some extra pressure. But now it's not going great. They'll section off the back of the site, but they still need quite a lot more.
So many players here for GX. They're ready to surprise them with a big swing that Avez shuts down. Denial of any form of retake. Just go and save. Don't walk into Avez. He's on fire. I need to see that one slowed down, sped up, backwards and forwards. Give him the ace. Just going to dry peek it. Surely they're not. The flash was there, Tom. The flash was there. It was just a little bit too late.
We do love a Mitch man curse. It's forever surviving through the many years that Valorant has been around. Anniversary coming up soon. You'll still be there.
30 seconds left.
Again, though, with this advantage, already going to see the showstopper. Well, it actually just ends up as a little boost for SUYGETSU to get the kill. 20 seconds, though. Spike down on the deck. I feel like this round is already done. It would have to be mass mistakes from the side of GX, and they have been tempered and controlled in a lot of these rounds, even when things haven't gone their way. Or saying that, though, going to put that difference down
to take that fight, but there's a reposition from Purpo. He's over towards bathroom, and he'll be completely out of this engagement.
The only goal from westside was to just delay. He's put that snake bite down onto the site, so the plant, at least, has taken a little bit more time. They also have Thrash for the retake, a Cosmic Divide of their own, but the attackers have the same ult in the form of Thrash.
Well, this is the round to use it in. Not going to leave anything on the table. Thrash gone in, but it's caught by the wall. Blocked off completely. And now Thrash goes in on the other side. More aware, the wall broken, and it finds its mark. Avez now removed from the engagement. saadhak, though, up close, has to hold the line, buy them a bit more time, and he does just that. Already denying it at every step of the way. KC emerged. Elite has already caught wind of them. SUYGETSU blinded as he was about to swing in for big damage. And so they will have to give up the position. GX claims space. Gecko flashback online, nade to clear back site, pushes the lead into the open. Good pickup by Cloud. B site now thinned out a little bit. The herd of the defenders not posing quite the same threat. Purpo up top deletes Avez, one of the big players in some of the last rounds, and with low HP on SUYGETSU, the advantage clearly sits with the attackers.
Already being delayed by that Viper utility. Flash about to go in. They need to try and get something off the back of it, but the players just about wrapping in onto the site. Still a bit wary on the attack. The players could be coming from behind, and because of that, there's a gap that's been found and exploited. Now Runner is all that remains. HP still in his favor. He's got to try and find both. And
taken off will be enough. GX. Well, there's a flash just hit them. Big play through the TP. Elite and Avez, saadhak even piping up, and the spike now dropped. Huge early fight for KC. This map just got a whole lot smaller. All they have to do is hold on to bathroom. A deep wall as well, completely denying the walk up from their opponents. Player inside the TP. Avez, I don't think will have his flash back online. I believe that one is gone. But still, the Arc Row is ready for Elite. Snake bite. Oh, the snake bite's got him at his feet. Precision from westside, good for another. This round looked to be locked down, and instead there's a challenger. Westside falls eventually, but he set tomaszy up for the 1v1.
It's tomaszy towards heaven if he wants to go that way. There's a lot of unknowns that he has to check on, and has to be careful he's not caught in util.
Just missing 150 HP as well on tomaszy. It's the problem for SUYGETSU. All those rifles are being gate kept as well. No free pickup for him. This is a very difficult fight to win. The smoke perhaps will give an advantage. There's a gap though in tomaszy.
Avez will give him the contact. Their own utility out to try and escape, but maybe giving the game away instead. Hover's managed to, well, I was going to say dodge the majority of utility, but he ends up being caught. Pressure put onto saadhak left, completely blind. He just about gets around the corner, and the ult's going to be utilized instead. Even still, though, they're being pinched from the back. tomaszy again. He's been having a phenomenal game. Even still, they've lost runner. It still puts this down to just a one-man difference. But tomaszy, he wants a little bit more, seeming like he wants to punish KC for letting him go. And well, eventually, SUYGETSU will take him out. But tomaszy should have done enough for the round.
Yeah, well, he has taken out the man he replaced, but a few more to drop, and it's Cloud.
And the B site. The sensors, alongside the vines, can both delay, disrupt, and all-out stall. And then they put more players over on the A site. The thing is, though, so have the attack.
Attempt to spam was close.
Are they going to TP?
I think they are. Spike is still here. And indeed, it's gone straight through the teleporter. They've seen the deadlock is on the A side. They don't know that the utility is on the other. They don't know the operator is here, and that marteen, well, he's left his teammate. Sold him down the river a little bit. But now the opportunity to claim an extra position, use that flash and pop out for another. Even
there is going to be another purchase and an immediate push to try and fight for that control. Purpo almost even a little angry wanting to get that space so quickly.
Oh, despite being flashed up, the kill's not connected, but marteen still delivers. It's tomaszy that's dropped still, though. GX claiming a good foothold on the A site. There's not much else to say, you think, but marteen, an aggressive peek up top, grabs a kill as a result. Spike goes down nonetheless. A 3v3 retake. And look at KC. They're not making this complicated. Just one angle of approach. Steel guard used to steal away those weapons. This could be a big problem. It's classics across the board. The shorty denied off rip. A brave play to say the least. Elite catching westside as GX realize they need to reset, fall back, and run this clock down further. They will not win in the open duels with those weaker weapons, but now the rifles are back online, and Runner not afraid to show it. It's SUYGETSU. All he can do is save this weapon. The time too far gone. The op retrieved. Needs to run. He needs to run now. He'll get the kill, but that spike is hot on his heels.
Let's not give them anything. Let's just go straight through, go for these aggressive pushes, and make sure they can't delay us at all.
Well, GX, aggressive, direct, and successful. Purpo completely decimating the B-long hold, despite the utility that is waiting for them. And the dropout of Hookah on the play to the backside. Well, that arc rose isn't going to be activated anytime soon without a lead around. That stun isn't going to be capitalized on without a player there to fight. And even then, the flank is being watched. tomashy's about to get a kill in the spawn. He's caught saadhak, who seemed to be quite aware of his position. But connecting the kill is a different story altogether. Well done by Avez. That's one pickup. But is that going to spur you forward? 2v4, 10-10 on the scoreline through A for the fight. And the question is, does Avez, I don't care about the spike, I want to see Avez. He's got a duel on his hands and he's online. Take a look who's on the podium. It is Purpo, ready to fire himself into the back of the site. Second blast pack used now. Still, nobody spotted. There is one to claim, and he has fired into the dark. A game of battleships. It's Purpo to sink SUYGETSU. GX, man advantage. Thrash and Viper's Pit online for the post plant. Cloud online with a kill onto Elite. It goes from bad to worse.
They're looking to try and find something. With the annihilation, the spam through onto the ult has worked. Put them into a 3v3 scenario. The attack, though, still have ults of their own. The Viper's Pit down, the Thrash is hunting within it.
It caught Avez.
And actually, it's gone a little bit more problematic. That Viper's pit now down. 2 players remaining, but that time is ticking. They need to move on the other side. It's from Runner and tomaszy holding that line, and marteen is desperately... He is up there at the top of the board as well. Maybe in one of the weirdest spots you're ever going to see. He's currently trapped, but they're shooting the smaller of the orbs, I believe. No, okay. I thought maybe they were going to allow him to try and jump over the corner, but instead, allowing him a safety net.
Well, Garden's all clear towards that B side. It looks like it could be a fake, though, trying to bring that spike. Oh, well, perhaps to the A side. There's 4 players here. If they get the picks, that may set their mind for them. In goes the grab, well, but SUYGETSU's on the side. Unseen, the damage done. saadhak and marteen following with him.
30 seconds left.
And now GX, I just assumed that because that's what it seemed they were going for, but Purpo, that's,
But for stack up. 3 players here from the defense, 3 players here from the attack. This could end the round here, and now marteen, snappy aim.
Oh, you're done.
This is Cloud absolutely screwed. I thought for a second maybe he'd escape, but it isn't to be. Already dropped by... Yeah, it's cosmetic.
All right, well, I know.
Wow.
They're going to have someone claiming it is elite. Won't have the chance to take that fight, though. The utility is canceled out. The players make it to site. Spike, drop down. It's going to be picked up by westside. 30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left. Covering it.
KC have got all the angles, though. Spawn, elbow.
Where does it
go?
go?
Hookah, good stun, but tomaszy can't capitalize. They need kills. Someone has to take a risk and deliver. A little bit more than they should. tomashy's been spotted. He's boxed in, stuck in a corner, scared of the utility coming, and he should be. The stun is perfect. Westside surrounded, and it's Avez.
Although it is looking like an A-site execution immediately in towards that site.
Direct, Purpo choosing another angle to fight on. He's gone into heavy traffic unknowingly. Elite, quick on the trade through the smoke. And now the backside of A becomes the new target. Utility is faded. The Toxin's no longer there. The flash forces Cloud off the angle. They're dealing well with some of the fights that GX are looking for being denied early on. Plant coming through. Big fight. And it's one on the side of KC. Avez and saadhak maintaining control over lamps and leaving GX with no foot to stand on. It's only Runner. 1v4. And KC would need a serious stumble to give him the opportunities here. At least one. Catching Avez off guard. So little time, in fact, sitting on the board. So many opponents now down to just 2, though. It's looking more.
Did they have the same sort of talk? I have to wait and see.
Probably he was jump peeking it. Either way, his head's been ripped off. He's out of the round, and so is marteen. KC with a vacuum of information and the expectation of an A hit. They pushed B long. They tried to fill in the blanks.
An off angle.
Instead, they have been left in the dirt. It's saadhak under pressure. Will at least buy himself a little bit of extra time. A good fight onto Purpo, having fragmented the rest of the squad. It's done well to give him a second breath of life, but there's just too many members coming through that choke point.
Chance for elite. He found a gap. He's done some damage. The swing is isolated. Kyle goes alone, and now it's down to that 1 versus 1 in elite.
The only danger here is that wall could split them up, slow down that play. They'll trigger it, and indeed, 2 are going to be caught behind it. It's going to cost some time and leave Purpo isolated for this fight. He picked up Avez there. Sure, lost a lot of HP himself and goes down in the end, but it didn't look like it'd be that bad. There were so many players there with him. But somehow, KC have come out on top in every duel, now sitting in a 4v2. A difficult situation to lose around from, Tom, but we'll put it past KC. We saw it on the last map.
How far forward can westside get? Okay, the immediate teleport out of there. Oh, SUYGETSU watching from afar. Nice shots from Runner, though. And you can immediately see the pushback, wanting to try and make sure they can fight this one together. saadhak doesn't want an individual duel. He doesn't want a 1 versus 1. While Runner is looking for those sort of fights, an opportunity almost given to him, but now needs to try.
Round, they're going to have to kill a lot of KC's players before that economic damage is felt. That's a good start from westside. How much more? Well, there's at least one more, because now saadhak...
And now with all 3 players making their way towards A, the defense is now doing the same. They have made the realization of where this push is going to be coming from. I think they also have the wall down on C in case anybody tries to walk into that spot. So their idea really is spot on.
It's only the second round, but these teams playing with elimination in the back of their mind. Purpo has got his rifle out already. The man advantage to play with. He'll be shut down, but damage done. One left down to 5 and quickly dispatched up close. The fight's not looking better. KC only have elite. An outlaw, definitely not the ideal weapon for this. And the flash good, but the time gone.
And they've got a huge economic advantage for it as well. Being able to retrieve some of those guns as they do it. Marteen already with ult. He's going to look to try and wrap in behind them. Westside, though, just with spam, has been able to do a large amount of damage. And although Marteen is here, he is definitely noted. Immediately dealt with. Good trades out from saadhak, but that's left the spike on the deck. And the other two were trapped by the wall. And tomaszy isn't just sitting there. They're even going to use the Nightfall to push them back. Still, SUYGETSU wins that fight. But how much more can he get here? Please don't peek him 1v1.
He's also one away from that ultimate. Retrieving the spike might get a little bit easier. Opening the door here, causing problems. GX know he can take that orb and take the TP. They'll push up to take the fight. And one player sitting outside A. They are ready with 3 on C for this push.
30 seconds
Already
left.
looking a little troublesome, having to dance and dodge. The flash is good, but still alive is Westside, and he's got support from Runner. Runner's the one to do the majority of damage, but SUYGETSU's caught him. Now the weaponry gets removed, and Purpo is trying to execute of it, but it hasn't caught, hasn't been able to be found. This is now much more of a problem
10 seconds left.
for this defensive side, as that spike will be planted.
They heard the shrouded step too. They're worried about SUYGETSU. He could be in the spawn. They've cleared at least closed boxes. Now they found him. But he's got 2 teammates with him. No easy fight for the side of GX. Just 1 round on the board for KC, and they're looking to double up here and now. Nice fight by Purpo though. He drops elite. There's still a chance. They know exactly where tomaszy is. A brave attempt to jump up top. Both players staring at him. This is a death-defying stunt if he gets away with it. With time ticking down, he has to make a move. The swing into smoke out, leaves Purpo behind it, but he's going to step forward to help his teammate Cloud under a lot of pressure. Purpo emerges and comes out a second time. Every time he's missing the cavalry until he's trapped behind that wall. KC, a little bit of an unpredictable pace that they took towards it. I thought maybe Westside had an angle to catch them, but they've just made it through the door. He won't get there with it still open. So the nice little safe haven for KC with plenty of numbers to their back, but Westside behind them and a big flank around.
It seems like both teams have had the same idea. An early battle towards that C site. A lot of utility put into play. Nightfall expended. tomaszy shoots the one thing he doesn't want to, but because the players are blinded, it doesn't matter. He's been able to hold back in that corner, and even with the wraparound from SUYGETSU, it's only going to be the one.
Yeah, it was a good attempt to use these players deafened up to TP in behind, but not gonna work out with low HP on saadhak.
Ace?
Should be a formality just to take this one down. It's Cloud.
There's a few things right now in the season that are inevitable, and one of them is that Cloud is going to get himself an ace. 14-4. Definitely had a quieter first map individually, but I do think those sort of games are going to be expected when you're taking over that mantle as IGL, but there's no doubt the individual brilliance of this man. Outside this B site, although it does seem like Cloud wants to challenge.
Back to check it just in time. A shift to the A site, although despite the fact tomassy's gone down, Rubble is still under GX's control.
They're not clearing him.
They
They've
wouldn't.
seen
Why
this
would they?
player run away. This is a chance for him to just go absolutely ham. He's been having an insane game so far, waiting for another player, but they finally dealt with him. Westside, though, he's got to be careful. He still gets the kill while completely blinded, and Purpo then comes in. The ultimate economy was slightly in favor of KC. Now it definitely is not. Like having the showstopper, Nightfall, they could opt to play retake, but they are taking a face-up fight. And that's gone quite well.
Yeah, Reckoning is used as salt in the wounds, keeping these players back from any form of re-aggression on the C site and giving KC full control over this backside push. Even the Cove put down, that's going to block a couple of bullets had they have tried to spam SUYGETSU from the connector. Now Steel Garden comes into play. You're going to be robbed of any of your weapons if you stay close, and if you go far back, that clock becomes an even bigger opposition. But the showstopper, the gap, that's nasty. Elite pops the Arcros, swings in and takes him down just as the rocket's being primed. Cloud left to do it all.
Well,
not gonna have a chance.
He's been doing a lot. 17-5 right now.
Too late.
But yeah, that time is ticking. It's ticking way too far, maybe hoping he can take a couple on the exit. The problem is he's being watched. There is another player behind him that he has to be wary of. SUYGETSU is lurking.
Now they're 7-4 down with big rounds in the last couple. Opening pick, recovered by marteen. Huge play, but he's got players behind him. SUYGETSU's covering. The door will close. The opportunity no longer there for GX. 2 versus 4. We talked about a lot of ultimates that this squad had. They used their showstopper last round. Still, well, tomaszy is just now using the From the Shadows and a Viper's Pit online for Westside. The last round of the half, you're going to put it into play, but with a minute 5, even putting the pit in now, they could just go the other direction. But once it's planted, then it's a different game.
So just finding a spot to use it.
Nightfall online.
Nightfall used, that was gained by the plant. He's going to use it to try and cover the spike, but even still, there's so much delay. Doesn't have the sound at the moment to really ply off anything whatsoever. Teammate in tomaszy trying to wrap back around and just wants to try and bait some of these players into the fight, but they are just not playing within that pit. A little bit worried about the spam, but it doesn't matter. Going on to their better side of the map. marteen already in an incredibly aggressive position. The reveal gave him the info, but at least for now he hasn't been able to capitalize.
And no follow through. Purpo down and out. I think that was a spam straight through as sees KC concede some space. saadhak falls as a result. B site seems to be a little bit more open, but that wall has bought a little bit more time, and with the flank coming in of SUYGETSU and knowledge of players towards that B site, he walks straight into them, but they're returning, looking the right way. GX claim the advantage, and they're gambling towards the C site. It's a blind pick, but it's the right pick up.
Cover going out.
Not really much in regards to stopping them. I'm sure that's going to slow them down a little bit and maybe put some doubts in the minds of the players on this side of the map. Those doubts will only last so long. They are going to make their way in for the plant, and the thing is, they can still look to use some of that extra utility in the post-plant. tomaszy still having himself that paranoia could be massive. Also still having the arc rows, and I believe the wall has just been put into play as well.
It's down that little laneway in the water. At least give him the info if the push comes down that way. KC cautious of the flank. They've cleared it out. marteen picking up west side as well. Some utility removed. tomaszy steps it up, and he'll have to do a little bit more. Both players significantly tagged up, but 2 guns facing him. Up top is the next, and Aves is whipping it all. tomaszy gets the reload off, and time ticking away. It's a disaster for...
And in fact, it's Elite now under some serious pressure. Now he can sort of sit back behind this wall and hope that he only gets a 1v1 instead. Well, he's already down. And in fact, the players looking to come in through B have been wrecked in the meantime. This is looking like an incredibly clean round, not one where your opponents are having their first buy.
Yeah, just so you know at home.
Something. So I think that was a nade C's as well. So he's one of the only people who could get away from that. Nonetheless, the attack still very much homed in. Defensive side looking like they're setting up almost entirely for a retake. marteen, if he can garner an orb, it would set them up wonderfully to get all the information on the retake. Instead, for now, it's looking like a 5v5 post plant.
Cloud's going to be a key player. They're all looking at the site as that wall goes down. This will be Cloud's opportunity, but he's already fired. He's given away his position. No element of surprise, hoping to help out, but hasn't in the herd. Aves onto Purpo, sight thinning more and more by the second. tomaszy won't get anything. His foothold now removed, and it's all onto Cloud.
A much more aggressive take once again. Stuck in the mud, but not much to capitalize on, although saying that SUYGETSU does find the opener.
Seeing this confident face, saadhak stepping up as well to double up and shut down the A push. Looking elsewhere, Elite knows he's got a fight brewing with Westside. Doesn't want to overcommit. If he goes down now, they lose all control. Not only on B, but even that little bit of extra info on C. Spotting that nobody's pushed through just yet with the wall in play. He doesn't want to give that up. Instead, backing off to the spawn, creating more of a barrier, more space between him and his opponent. Now Cloud, oh, he fakes it out. Westside almost got a kill there. That would have made this round much more palatable. Instead, he's walkabouts, and Elite is still waiting. Not quite quick enough on the trigger, though, and that's going to allow the side of GX to regroup, get the plant, and in fact, I'm wrong, not regrouping, staying aggressive.
That's the thing, Cloud's earned up that Nightfall. Already the Reckoning is going to reveal the position. Or not quite, at least, no. Just about managed to dodge. A big kill from westside, putting things back into a 2v2. And just looking to try and keep the distance between these two defensive players. SUYGETSU's battle versus Cloud is everything. He takes this kill, and maybe there's a chance. Instead, he's TPing into the smoke, and the spray's not landed. He's still on that site, but the sprint is coming through from Elite to try and support. SUYGETSU might not need it, but that time is still ticking. It's all SUYGETSU.
We've had Avez step it up, and now SUYGETSU micro-clutching. He's been around for a little while. Part of the first fight, rotating back in. To be honest, remarkable that he's made that much space. Even the shrouded step that he went for into his own smoke, they heard it. The spam was there.
And actually the rest of the team going much more direct. This was something, again, on the last map, just running it down in these early stages of the round. And a little bit of luck that's gone a long way. tomaszy finds the opener.
It's a big pick. That's an even bigger one. saadhak put to bed. B site open for the plant as well. SUYGETSU having to take risks, and this is something GX are ready for with all these numbers still in play. Westside. Oh, he's been spotted. What a shot by SUYGETSU. A beautiful correction. When the ult's used to reposition, he'll go to his teammate. Now look for this. Two players on one angle and one coming in up top. It's not going to be the easiest because GX have already taken this into group setup. Pushed in together. 4 players now on site. Big swings coming through it. The ult economy as well, stacked up so heavily in GX's favor. They have all these safety nets to fall back in, and they don't need any of them. Dominance in the opening fight, a big... Just about to round the corner, runner's gonna get this. Is that there'll be aggression elsewhere. They look for it on C. There it is. But SUYGETSU's landing the shot. Oh, this could be massive, especially with the first player isolated by that wall. Here comes the step up, the walk through, and primed and ready is saadhak, all 3, baby! Looking for the full house. There were plenty more to pick up, but okay. Cloud survives. SUYGETSU lucky to survive that. Could have had his head ripped off with a bit of a shallow TP. Nice stuff from saadhak.
Regen shield as well.
Right back up to 25, 125 that is, with 4 rounds left to go. An opening pick like that. This might force an ult out of GX to try to bridge the gap. Maybe the showstopper's on its way.
That's the thing, they've had them a while now. I've been waiting for the moment where they're finally going to be utilized. Maybe just used for the late round instead. Steel Garden, taking away the weapons, throwing a showstopper. But Reckoning could be perfect here. Chance to clear out a lot of those backlines, reveal every single player in their tracks. Exactly what he's going to do. But there is Purpo just trying to delay them while this ult is active.
Yeah, it's the crowd control from this showstopper. They can't push forward while the rocket hasn't been fired or until it fades away. Eventually, they decide to make a move. Steel Garden activated after runner's kill. Ready for the fight up close and delivering every step of the way. Elite at least recovers a single kill, and SUYGETSU will group up with him. But the time is ticking and they need to move fast. It's already too late, especially with 3 players left. GX.
Active they're going to be with that Teo. I think that was the main takeaway. For now, marteen, hello.
He snuck himself into a nice spot and he's out scot-free. Flash to try and re-engage by the looks of things, and that's exactly what marteen does. A confident start to the game. And for KC, their game plan is going to be something that we study as these rounds go on. Problem is, you get to anti-strat them on a lot of other maps, Tom. When it comes to Fracture, you're showing what Aang's been cooking behind the scenes, and with a Tejo already on the board, I'm terrified for what GX are going to be coming up against, because they were ready on Bind. They knew what they were going to be facing. They had adaptations, a little bit more difficult to do when you come in blind. Nice kill by tomaszy though. Pistol's not gone just yet.
No, he's done well. And definitely had high impact rounds. This won't be one of them though. Immediately reduced to ashes, trying to be proactive of those remaining players, and they are being picked apart all onto runner, and he is stuck on the site with utility coming. They're taking it nice and slow. You know that there's some weaknesses here, so you don't want to get too over aggressive.
saadhak, there's a chance there. The player in the air, a little too hard to pick out. The 2 rifles rotating in, caught behind the smokes for now, or one caught down below. It is going to be a slower approach. In goes the decoy. In goes the flash. Westside's pushed back. Rifle is the one leading the charge here. It's marteen up close, but he's caught. tomaszy had a perfect spot. That rifle down in the open, no longer a concern. And the only man who was armed to the teeth other than Marteen, was elite. He's not quite in the fight, and at this point, he's thinking about not joining it at all, bailing out and saving this weapon for the next round.
Yeah, I think again, capitalize off trade equipped. The question will be, is it immediate TP out? I wonder if it might be, not quick enough. Marteen thought he could get ahead of it. He did have a gate crash, but it doesn't matter now.
They've rotated so quickly because of this Cypher setup over on the A side, has full control. 4 players there early. It's a good job they got that util down because they're still present on this side of the map. Oh, Purpo lucky to be alive, 15 HP, recovered the spike, but he's back out in the south side. He's in B main now. So there's no way to get on site, there's no way to plant it, and this guy doesn't want to go dry swinging, no utility, and just hope that one stray bullet doesn't take him down. But instead, he's sending it in the other direction, where he'll either have to open the door, alerting them early, walk through the tripwire, which could even lead to his death.
Left.
He's walked straight into it, or at least destroyed it. The player on top, caught off guard, they didn't go all the way. 2 quick picks for GX, and all of a sudden, this difficult round is looking beyond doable with Purpo so low. If saadhak can get him taken down, there is a real chance, but Purpo's not giving him an opportunity. Just hiding, waiting for Cloud's contact. Perfectly played so far, and it's saadhak who needs to force the... They go Sand. They actually have a position to fight from, but with 4 players on A, they need picks inside of GX.
Salvo came back on. Already early trades, and well, Aves maybe caught in no man's land. There's been a couple of moments where I wonder if his own kit is becoming a burden. SUYGETSU so close to hitting all of the shots, and Elite is coming in from behind as well. That's the spike down on the deck. Now tomaszy left with just 7 HP. Info of where he is, and he has to go sprinting. He's trying to bait. He's going towards the other side of the map, but with 15 seconds left, he would almost have to try and catch out saadhak, who's just waiting with the Rolling Thunder. His only goal to delay.
KC, 3-3 operator in the hands of Marteen, and well, he's gonna have the gate crash out. Leaves him up close on the site, and the shorty is deployed. They weren't ready for the op to be right down below them, and he stepped through the smoke for more. Now that's a bridge too far, and he is punished. Putting it back to an even scenario, Purpo looks for more, isolating the fights. It's getting a little bit spooky, but the Cosmic Divide will stop them. And with the spike on the other side, it's GX that have to push through that.
Can't use that yet.
Gonna wait, at least for the moment. Cloud may opt to try and reclaim a little bit of control, but the worry as well is that he's just lost his haunt. It's just been utilized. Doesn't have any prowlers, so it just had to be this swing. Door open. Purpo's been given the space to take the peek, and actually Cloud ends up winning it. And then SUYGETSU, facing the wrong way, goes down. Is left onto the leader himself, but with 8 HP. Aves holding as well to potentially do more, but look how far they've pushed up already. They're going to force him back into position, but he still hits the shot.
That's against Purpo as well. He was 14-4, now 14-5. Extra death to the tally. Lockdown comes into play though, and that puts too much pressure on. They have to try to back out. SUYGETSU gets caught in the process, and a couple more get detained. 3, in fact, the push is on. It's only Aves to defend. If he went down this round, was done. There could be a chance, even still.
That could be their undoing. The fact that tomaszy doesn't find anything here, and that this could be 2 players. No, only the one spotted, but the stun goes through nonetheless. Cloud holding the line, and the trades go in their favor. Keeps them even for now.
Low Aves is the guided salvo is good, but Runner hasn't moved. He already had that ideal position. Beautiful stance, great execution. They've swapped it back over as now he'll look to entry with the rifle. Well, he stopped for a moment. Cage will be destroyed. No one's there to capitalize on it, having to give up all control over the site. GX are 1 man down with westside out of the round, but they have claimed the A site as a result of their hard labor. KC going to be a little late as well with Marteen coming to dish. He has the ult to re-clear this, and I think he's going to use it.
That's the thing. There is very, very little control currently available for GX. They almost feel like they have to go proactive, and they already should have an idea what it's eventually that spin to take down the close man about tomaszy. He might want to try and take this one off his opponents, but it would have to be an utter miracle. In fact, he is completely trashing of the map after what has been a hit after a hit. Both teams now set up with a solid attempt at B.
Yeah, big rotation from KC. Aves used his stealth drone to clear a main. Now he's here ready to help out with the B hit. And it's a good thing too, because it starts with Elite going down. Aves though, the extra numbers not quite expected. He's going up into heavy traffic. They're stunned up, but he's the one that's gunned up. Yeah, well, the shorty doesn't quite need accuracy time, especially not when there's two of them up that close. saadhak and marteen. saadhak make that all by his lonesome. 3 players to drop. Spike planted safe. No chance to take them down on the way across. Rolling Thunder already used. From this point, it is looking a bit unwinnable. It's looking like an 8-4 half. Not a death sentence for KC.
It's so passive. How do you even get past this corner and be exactly that?
Oh, Tomashy's got a little gap. They think it's clear because of the guided salvo, and now they found out a little bit more occupied than they thought. Down go the smokes either side, and the spike in the open. Flank underway, big north side push. I think it might have been spotted just seconds ago. SUYGETSU went in for the peek, and indeed, they've got the info. The execution, not quite there though. Cloud maintains north side control. Spike still down, but we're into a 2v2.
Is there to try and hold on to some sort of semblance of control. Has Cloud alongside him. These were the two that had that interplay a few rounds ago to close out another for this squad. On the other side, marteen. He definitely has been the sort of pinnacle for this squad so far. 45 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time to play with, but it's about isolating one of those duels, and Elite is clean with it. Always good for a headshot. But the man they face off against was the superstar of the last map. Cloud, the IGL, trying to hold that line, trying to force him into an awkward battle. And, well, it might become that little bit more awkward because they've stolen the spike.
Gate crash from marteen brings him straight to the site for a quick attempt at a plant. It's a fake. They want the fight, but in fact, eventually, but it's effectively just a buy round with a fallback and another buy coming right afterwards. Decoy's going to be destroyed, but Cloud stays close. marteen, though, still blinded, and that's a third kill for marteen. The A site overrun, and it's just one man leading the charge.
Yeah, they just did. You could tell the players on site were not ready for it.
Oh, absolutely not. This man was a little bit too aggressive for their liking. 8-8 with economy in the bin.
Oh, well, that's one hell of a spot.
My potter broke.
3 players already seen. Pushing that south side of the map. As you mentioned, this is an investment for GX. There's a couple of guns held through, but they have completely lost the B side of the map, and afterplant guaranteed, and with so many deep positions already being held, this could be a tough one.
For a 5v5, seeing this many players in B main and their defenders is a very weird flavor of the round. saadhak has stayed on site, and he's going to have a bit of a crossfire with marteen, who's just swung out wide. He hasn't hit his shots this time. It's SUYGETSU who's picking up the pieces. That's 3 already. He'll be put to bed, but damage done to Cloud, and Aves and Elite have got time. Guided salvos online as well, and there it goes. Buying even more for this squad, and with 5 health and a 1v2, there is no way for Cloud to pull this across the line. It confirmed. saadhak currently spike holder. We're looking at a likely play to the A site through this heavy traffic, and then the Rolling Thunder online afterwards for the post plant. They need to get there first. 5 rounds in a row. GX have had time to sit back and find a solution, a much more passive play. No picks being given away. 35 seconds when KC make their intentions known, and it's towards the site that's stacked up. Cloud still here up top, west side under threat. Drop. Cloud gets 2 though, and with marteen taken down by Runner, Cloud gets a bit more time to reset to take it. This is it, the momentum. Very much swap over to the other side. KC quite quickly putting the pressure on. Rolling Thunder comes through on B, but this is the round that GX have pushed main. So they avoid the Rolling Thunder, even pick up Elite, and now have that rotation from the A main push. This was a full south side push. The perfect round for KC to try something like this, at least from the GX perspective. And with late flank coming in from Cloud, way up north side, they seem to have this one tied up in a bow. KC need to find some space of their own. That's what the Armageddon comes through to do. Not going to land much, but they're hoping for the main fight. Still a little staggered. And when GX emerge, it's marteen to fall. It's everyone to fall, in fact. As soon as they see that north side play, that orbital strike seems to be coming down.
marteen was on orb collection duty, gone all across the map to get this one online. Stunned through to give him that opportunity, and while that is Cloud completely isolated, Orbital Strike though, he's just going to die to it. He didn't want to peek back in, he knew that they'd be watching, and now the lockdown is going to make things really awkward. 30 seconds left, they can plant just at the back of that site. Well, in fact, it's going to be denied anyway. saadhak has just come up with 2 huge kills. This is starting to fall apart a little bit for the side of GX as the IGL looks to do.
Oh, Purpo. Now this is an annoying thing to run into at all. Oh, okay. He got Aves. Thought it was Purpo. Yeah, it was Runner that took down Aves. Although I think that off shot was on him anyways. Runner for another. That's saadhak shut down.
Finally.
This is it. Not only shutting down saadhak, but for Runner, he's had a couple of rounds. Quiet, silent hero. This time it's more direct, and it gets the Rolling Thunder online and ready. KC do manage to set foot on that site. Might be the beginning of the end for them.
So much reliance here on marteen. He's trying to find a safe spot. Stun will go in.
Spike planted.
There's not anything to do with denying that plant. And now the Rolling Thunder. Yeah, it seems almost a little bit irrelevant when you don't know where these players currently are. Maybe trying to force them back off the site, but they are already off the site.
Yeah, the gate crash got them that quick reposition, but Elite has been caught. The speedy approach working out with Runner's triple on the board. It's SUYGETSU who has to clutch it out again. The defuse
Rolling
underway.
Thunder this time. He is not in the right place at the right time. So much utility pudding, completely stunned up on the site, just trying to hold on with the shorty, but they haven't been able to get towards him.
Smashing in with smoke. He's safe. Inside his teammates smoke. They don't know what's going on. They're going to step into this unaware that the shorty is waiting. And they certainly don't know he's got an up to back it up. Beautiful play from GX. Purple was under such heavy threat. And tomaszy, he was quick with the orbital strike, quicker with the smoke. And that may just have gotten them the round. 12. Flawless. Pace change, 40 seconds left, and they're making the push blind. That TP hasn't worked out. marteen, big player for the side. Someone else has to step it up to keep KC's dreams alive, and it's a nightmare for this attacking side. SUYGETSU and Elite left alone. Westside falls, damage on Cloud, damage on tomaszy, but the spike is in the open. They have 20 seconds left to get onto that site, and the gamble, the dice need to be rolled now. The drop down from SUYGETSU, the star is there. 10 seconds left. Elite's gone, and with him, the hopes of this round have fallen.